Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance on this guy. I'm sure you can hear it. The fan is making a hell of a lot of noise. So a few days ago, before I came out here in the morning to do the morning load, every morning I'll look out the window to see if I can tell it's in a burn cycle or whatever. And whenever this does a burn cycle, goes into idle mode, the dampers on the back will fluctuate to kind of get it to whatever O2 setting that it wants to be at. At least mine does. I don't know if that's correct or not. But so every time I look out the window, say like 5:30, 6:30 in the morning, it looks like it just got done with a burn cycle, because you'll see a little bit of like seeping smoke out the chimney. And then once the dampers close, it doesn't do anything. So every time I looked out the window, it was doing that. I'm like, that's odd. So I think it was like 7:30 rolls around. I come out here to do my morning load, and I open the panel there, and it said it's in a burn cycle. It's not running. And I look, and the fan breakers popped. I'm like, well, that's great. And it was all the way down to 140 some degrees. So I don't know for how long. It was when we actually had some nice weather. It was in the 60s, so I don't think it ran much. There wasn't much heat load on it that night. So who knows how long it was seeping out. It had to have been hours worth. It had to have been to drop 40 some degrees. So for, we'll just say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, it was nonstop just seeping, thick smoke out the stack. So while doing that, because I'm like, oh no, that's not good. Obviously I hit the breaker, fan turns on just fine, I don't know. I go to move the turbulators, and they're practically frozen solid. And I'm like, that's great. So the only reason I think that is, because usually whenever I touch them, it's like they're brand new. You can tell how loose they are. It's because that smoke was just nonstop going through there. And usually there is no smoke. It's all burnt up hot gases. So hence why the fan's making a bunch of noise now. So I loaded it last night around 7 p.m. It's almost 9 right now. It's still got coals in there. I'm gonna let this thing just burn down to nothing. It is freezing cold out, it's windy. So it's a perfect day to be doing this. I'm gonna freeze my ass off, but I'm gonna do a full clean on this guy. I do have a spare fan. I'm gonna put the spare fan in. I'm gonna really clean the fan that's in there and pray that the bearings ain't shot. The turbulators, I got them to move today, so my goal is to get it down to whatever, 140, because I'm going to clean the firebox out for the most part. I'll leave some ash in there, but there's getting a decent amount of ash up top. So I want to clean that, clean the bottom chamber, obviously, pull the whole fan portion off, suck all that out of there, and just do a deep clean. I'm not going to pull the panels off. I'm just not doing that. Those should be fine. The airflow is fine. So, and then restart a fire and let her crank. I have the kiln running still, so I may have to shut it off eventually, but maybe I won't, I don't know. And just let it crank, and if it goes for 4 or 5 hours trying to get back up to temp, the turbulators, I would think, should be burned clean. We'll see. So that's kind of the goal. But why, when the breaker pops for the fan, why it popped, I don't know. But you would think the system would know that as soon as that breaker pops, it should shut the stove down and not leave the dampers wide open. I mean, I think that's a flaw, or maybe this isn't just running properly. I don't know. So by it doing that, completely screwed up my fan. Turbulators are getting stuck. It's just one thing after another right now, and and it isn't the wood I'm burning in there. It's not the way I'm loading it, because I've had this stove almost 2 years now. The wood I'm burning is drier and dry. I do mix it in with good seasoned wood that's probably around 16%. Because if you just burn pure dry wood in here, you get no coals whatsoever. So I intermix that, put some bigger stuff in, which creates phenomenal coals. So that's not the issue. Coal bed's always good. I could show you right now, the whole thing is just full of coals. I just got done raking it. So yeah, so I'm kind of I got a lot to do today, and this is the last thing I want to be doing. So, but it needs to be done because the fan sounds like crap. Turbulators are almost stuck. So yeah, so stay tuned. So I probably won't do that for another a few hours from now, at least, until it cools down a little bit. because I want it to, when I restart it, to go into a really good burn cycle to try to burn out those turbulators. So, but yeah, so stay tuned. I'll follow up with you in a little bit for you guys. It'll be in a second, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so I think it was around 6 or 7 hours later, finally got back home. Yeah, obviously it was flashing at me. Like right now she's, yeah, what are we at here? Oh. We are at 120 degrees. So what I ended up doing, took the fan area off, cleaned everything in there by the turbulators. So that's spick and span, or as clean as you're gonna get. Clean that. And in the process, when I put it back together, I mean, I cleaned the piss out of this. Clean it as best as I could, right? This is what she looks like. When I plugged it back in, she doesn't want to work at all. And I tried to get it as clean as I could so it would spin properly. But for whatever reason, now she's not doing nothing. I mean, it's pretty stiff. So I'm going to end up taking this apart to see if I can find what's wrong. It's probably burnt out, whatever. So I put my spare in there, and I had to adjust that too, because how the fin, when I got it, see how you see that little set thing in there, and there's a set screw there. It was pushed out too far. It wouldn't fit in there. So that one's in there. That thing runs like butter. Cleaned the bottom really well. Took out all the ash. There's a little left in there. And obviously now you can tell I filled it. So I got maple on the bottom, and this is all my kiln dried cedar. So I should be able to get a fire going fairly easy. So yeah, it took me, I mean, I cleaned that fan for probably a good half hour to get it as best I could. The back I did, I mean, I cleaned it all. The only thing I didn't do was the bottom and top air channels. I'm not doing that. I did that however many months ago. So that, I mean, I fired it up. It's sucking really good air, so I'm not concerned about airflow as far as that goes. Cleaned the chimney, that wasn't bad. So yeah, I didn't clean the dampers or nothing. Those open and closed just fine. So yeah, I'm gonna get her going. Hopefully she should take off pretty easy. That cedar's really dry, and that maple's been split for 9 months. I mean, it's all ready to go. So what else did I do? That's about it. But for those of you that, I know some of you guys say that, you know, you clean that fan area once a year. Since I've owned this unit, it's going on 1.5 years, give or take. And when I burn, it's nonstop every day throughout the year, because we heat it to, you know, for our hot water and whatnot, now the kiln. So for those of you that don't clean back there, maybe once a year, I suggest you do it more often. I clean that fan area once a month. But just that one time that the breaker popped on this fan, that whole back area was probably a good 1/4 inch thickness of creosote or whatever you want to call it, adhered to everything in there, the fan, ceiling on there, the back wall, besides the fly ash on the bottom. Yeah, I probably burn a lot more than the average person, but still, I feel like you got to do that once, if not once every month or every 2 months. The bottom area I do once a week, and that's usually pretty full. So, and like I said, I'm burning very dry stuff, so it's not like it's wet by any means. So yeah, I guess let's just get this fired up here. I mean, the fan runs like butter now, so which is good. Hit the cold start. I mean, you can't even hear it now. Sounds just like a fan. So let's get hopefully this takes off pretty good. It should. And I always do it from the top down, because obviously the air draft is going to pull it down. Okay. Well, that should be all I would have to do. Should get going. So now that's, I'm gonna have to come back out probably, and I don't even know what time it is. It's got to be 6:30ish. I'll come back out at 9:10 because that should get me back to temp, I would think. But then I'm gonna have to load it for tonight. So as of right now, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of smoke, but she'll start smoking pretty good here, I think, for a little bit. Just because there's no coal bed, no nothing like that. But that cedar should be getting pretty hot pretty quickly. So yeah. Now what I wanted to do today, you know, thankfully it actually got up to like 50 degrees and the sun came out and the wind cooled down, or slowed down a little bit, so it's not that bad out. But it's the last thing I wanted to do today. I mean, I have a lot to do. And for those, how do you turn off this reminder? Ever since I did that update, I can't get it to turn off. Every time I come out here, it shows. I know the one time I was able to turn it off, but now I can't figure out how to do that. So if any of you guys know, let me know, because I'm getting tired of seeing that. So, but yeah. So yeah, it pays to always have a spare fan on hand, because obviously I'd be dead in the water right now if I didn't have it. And pray that that thing lasts who knows how long. If I can get this thing going again, I'm probably going to put the other one back in. So that should be fine for a long time now that I got everything super clean again. So yeah, she's starting to smoke a little bit now. Yeah, you can see it, hopefully. It smells like cedar and maple now. So that'll get roaring here pretty quick. But yeah, so technically, you know, almost got 2 years out of that fan so far. I'm hoping I can clean it. Maybe there's some debris in the back area. I don't know. It could be shot. The bearings are probably garbage now. So I shouldn't have to babysit this the rest of the night unless for some reason it stops the cold start. But ever since that update, I have yet to find an issue besides the fan breaker going. So yeah. Other than that, I've been pretty busy here, so still got a pile of wood to do. Got 3 of those, got this, got that. And then I still have to get ready for our job tomorrow. So yeah, yeah, that's going good. Hopefully she gets up to temp. Because after tomorrow, the next like 7-day outlook, it's down in the 20s, snow and da-da-da-da. So this thing needs to be running. More wood's going in the kiln, so this needs to be working pretty good. So I mean, it is only March still, but yeah, so I got to get things cleaned up here. I got to eat. I haven't ate all day, but yeah, I'm curious, how long have you guys had your fans working for? I know there's been some things with the fans that some of them aren't so good and so on. I've had fairly good luck with that. I feel like that one would be just fine if it doesn't cake with creosote or smoke or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I could get into all the above, but fan's in there. She's running. She's clean. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty much all I got for you guys today. I mean, I just spent 2 hours cleaning this thing. Hopefully, with this long burn, I mean, the turbulators move pretty good now. I'm hoping with this good, long, hot burn that it gets up to temp, that it burns off whatever's on those turbulators. I'm really hoping, because I still got the kiln roaring right now, and I'm going to let it go. That way this thing just keeps on burning and burning. Like I said, she may not get up to temp till late tonight, which I don't care. That's fine. The longer I can have a hot burn, I'm assuming those turbulators are just going to, you know, clean themselves as they should. So they weren't fully stuck, but the other day, 2 days ago, they were pretty close. And that's probably why that fan, you know, ever since the breaker went on it, it just seeped smoked all day and it clogged everything up. So, you know, that's to me, that's a little design flaw, but I don't know. I don't know if the other manufacturers do the same thing, but So if I didn't have that breaker going, it was acting like it was in a burn cycle, and it wasn't. It's just puffing smoke all day, and it wasn't like a lot of smoke. It was just a little bit. I feel like it would have been just fine. So hopefully those turbulators get cleaned out, because otherwise I don't know what you do when they're fully stuck. I know you got to pull them out of the roof there, and I'm not doing any of that. So it should be fine. I mean, I've had it 2 years and never had an issue until it kind of whatever malfunctioned. So. But yeah, like I said, that pretty much wraps this one up. Let me know your guys' comments, and as always, keep earning.